Mic testing. Good morning, church. Good morning, church. It's a privilege to be here, to stand amongst all of you here to share the Word of God. Before we begin, I just want to thank you on behalf of the family, for the church members here who have gone to visit my dad at the hospital, for those who cooked for him, those who really took care of him. Thank you so much on behalf of the family. He's in high spirits. He's in good shape. He's just bored in the hospital. So if you can go and visit him and talk to him, that'll be awesome. Thank you so much for everything. Okay, so for those who first time meeting me, my name is Aaron. I think I was here, I can't remember, last year, I guess. I'm Joseph and Susan's eldest son. My wife will be preaching later in the Chinese service. And how do I begin? And it's also quite an interesting journey this year for me, at least. So maybe a little bit of context. My wife and I, when we got married, we were blessed with a house in Subang Jaya. We have, and it's a semi-detached house, double story, 5 rooms, three bathrooms, very huge house. And when we first moved in, we were already in our hearts, we really believe that this house doesn't belong to us. This house belongs to God. So whoever wants to come to the home and stay with us, no problem. Just come and stay with us, okay? So we've been staying in that place for almost 12 years. Until this year in August, I received a text from my wife saying that, the house owner would like the house back. And then I'm like, okay. Then I said, when? Then she said that, not sure, but since this is quite a prime area, maybe it will take a while before the house will get sold. Okay, and then, so I said, okay, I still got time to prepare. Okay, a month later, around September, my wife told me, we need to get out of the house by November. Wow, 2 months to settle everything. Now, my first instinct, was I was very upset. I was very angry. Because, when they blessed us with the house, the reason why was because this couple was not from Malaysia. They were overseas, and they said that we need someone to just, live in the house. If not, the house will be dilapidated, right? Nobody take care of the house. So say, can you help us take care of the house? So I said that, for 12 years, we really took care of your house, We use it to the best of it. We allow people to come. We open it to people. And during COVID times, we had a few people who stayed with us. We took care of them. How can they suddenly just take this away from us? I was so upset. I was so angry. I was even angry with God. I said, God, we have served you so faithfully. We serve you so wholeheartedly. How can you do this to us? So one day I was doing my devotion, and I was led to this sentence. What are you doing here? Now this sentence, comes from 1 Kings. And it is actually said to Elijah. And God said it to him twice. What are you doing here? And at each juncture, when he said this sentence, it really was said at 2 different times of Elijah's state of mind. Okay? So, where do we find this verse? This verse is from 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 1 to 18. I will not go through the verse. I will not go through the whole verse, but snippets of it in the first way. Okay? So the first time that God said to Elijah, is when Elijah was running away. And running away from who? Running away from Queen Jezebel. Because Queen Jezebel already said, I want your head. And he ran away. And he ran away. And where did he run away? He ran into a cave. In 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 9, he says, and there he went into a cave and spent the night in that place. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, and he said to him, what are you doing here, Elijah? So this is the first time that that God spoke to Elijah and said that, what are you doing here? Asking him, what are you doing here? What was Elijah's response? this was a reminder to me, right? What is your response to an uncomfortable situation? To a situation that is not your normal, just like me, right? The house in Subang, right, was the most stable thing in my life. I feel like, wow, this is the stability. Suddenly, something had to change that stability. So I've been pushed into an uncomfortable situation. So what did Elijah was doing in this uncomfortable situation? What is our response to this discomfort? The first thing Elijah's response was that he ran away. All right? Now, when Elijah was running away, what happened the chapter before that? The chapter before that, right, was Elijah versus the prophets of Baal. You know, where God sent fire from heaven. There was a big miracle. And the whole of Israel was saying that the Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. Very big miracle, you know. So can you imagine in a fight? This is a fight, debate between Prophet Elijah and the prophets of Baal. And they were debating. They were saying, who is the real God? And who won? Elijah won. Elijah could show the people of Israel that, hey, the Lord, He is God, by showing that big miracle. And yet, right, just right after that, Jezebel said, I want your head. Wow, then suddenly he ran away. A man who saw the miracle of God, a man who saw like this powerful God do something, right, suddenly he's afraid and he ran away. Sometimes in life, we do that. We always say, God, you are a good God. God, you are an amazing God. God, we really love you and worship you. And then suddenly, when a time of discomfort, we run away. It says here in verse 3, and when he saw that, he arose and ran for his life. Not only he just ran away, he also dumped his servant there. He ran away. For a man who see that God, you are a real God. You are a real God. And then suddenly he ran away. Brothers and sisters, do we run away when there is uncomfortable situation? When we feel that we are being challenged to our norm? When we feel that we are being challenged to our day-to-day stability? Do we run away or not? The second response from Elijah was that he focused on himself. He focused on himself. Okay, in 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 4, it says, but he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a broom tree. And he prayed that he might die and said, it is enough. Now, Lord, take my life, for I am no better than my fathers. So I Googled and tried to see, what is a broom tree? So a broom tree, right, is it's like a mushroom, very big mushroom-looking tree, very shady one. It's very, very comfortable. So if you sit under there, you will be shaded from the sun. And this is after running just one day into the wilderness. It's not like he ran 40 days into the wilderness. It's only just one day. And then he sat under a broom tree. All of these things, right, suddenly he just says, enough, Lord. God, kill me lah. Take my life lah. Better leh. Wow, he suddenly just gave up. He suddenly focused on himself, focused on that. He forget to see that there was a broom tree. He only ran for one day, not like he ran for 40 days. He just ran only. And yet, because of all these things, suddenly he looked at himself and said, this is a very pitiful state. I go home, I better die. Sometimes, right, we focus so much on ourselves. When there's this discomfort. Just like when I lost the house was taken away, suddenly I focused on myself, saying that, God, how can you do this to me? God, I serve you so hard leh. Suddenly you take this away from me. God, never mind lah, just take my money lah. I don't do anything else already lah. So it's so easy for us when we go through difficult things, or we go through an uncomfortable situation, where suddenly we see that, hey, God, I very pitiful. It's okay, take my life, God. No, but I'm no better than my father. I'm no better than my fathers. When Elijah really saw the glory of God, when Elijah personally saw the miracles of God, for someone to say that, wow, so much self in him. How about us? When we go through, when we focus on ourselves, do we focus on ourselves or not? I just want to tell a story about my daughter. So my daughter is 10 years old this year. And one day, while I picked her up from her tuition center, and then, she came in, she was already in tears. And so I asked her, I said, what happened? Then she said, my best friend bullied me. I said, how she bully you? She said, of course, my best friend called me names, said that I am you are too smart because you are so smart, right? All the teacher always scold us. They always say, can you be like Hope Chan? Can you be like Hope Chan? And so she was very upset, with this. And then she started crying. And this is not the first time this happened. And so I asked her, I say, why are you still friends with this girl? Why you still call her your best friend? Now she always bully you, she pinch you, she take away your chair, you fall down, you hurt yourself. Then I say, why you don't, just don't be her friend. Ignore her. Don't be her friend anymore. This is from her father. Don't be her friend anymore. Don't be her friend anymore. So my daughter just stood in silence and then she just think for a while. And then she repeat me. Then she just, replied to me. She said, but Daddy, I think cannot. This friend very important to me because she doesn't know Jesus yet. Wow, 10-year-old versus a 42-year-old. It's very easy, right, for us when we are in an uncomfortable situation. We can say, why you want to do like that to yourself? Don't care lah. Like this one. Why you want to be friends with her? She always bully you. Don't need to be her friends. It's a very easy thing to say. But she saw something very different. She saw something that her friend is more important. Her life was more important. I think for those who came yesterday, my wife shared about being partners, and she said, I'm partnering with my daughter to reach out to this to her friends. And this is one of the friends, the one who always bully her. And one day, the mother of this daughter, this kid came to and see and told my wife, say there's something very different about your daughter, and there's something very different about your family. I really trust you guys. I really trust you guys. And then a relationship was formed. So sometimes God brings somebody into your life to disturb you, to be uncomfortable for you, right? I always say, this is a homework for you. This is a homework for you. All right? So tell your neighbor, right? Thank you for being my homework. Yeah, thank you for being my homework. Yeah. All right? Okay, the third response that Elijah had to this very discomforting place, right, was this. He only looked at his own interests. This is only my own interest. He says, God, I have been very zealous for you. For the children of Israel, right, everybody else, right, have forsaken your covenant, torn down your altars, killed your prophets with the sword. I alone am left, and they seek to take my life. Remember again, the context, right? This was right after the people of Israel say what? The Lord, He is God. So, how can suddenly He say that? Lord, you see, I'm the only one who is very zealous for you. All the children of Israel, right, they forgotten you already. They killed all your prophets. I alone am left. Only me. Only me, I'm only left here. So it's like the whole world owe him something. Like he has he has done so much of this thing, right? Only God owes him something. Many times we only look at our interests. Many times we look at this is the only thing that we should be proud of Elijah was very proud. He said that, God, I'm the only one left. Everybody else, right? You see, they die already. I'm the only one left. So in many ways, right, before that, he's telling God, God, please kill me. Now telling God, God, I'm the only one left. What is this? What is he trying to say? Before that, right, even before that, right, remember this. When he is afraid, when he ran away, why was he afraid? He was afraid because Jezebel wants his head, wants him dead. Now suddenly, after that, he said that, God, I want to die. Now he said, no, God, I'm the only one left. He's just trying to be self-pity. Very charming. Very charming. Everything is so charm. Then that is what sometimes we go through as well. When we are uncomfortable, we feel that as if that we are very charm. A few years ago, last year, one of our church workers passed away. She passed away because of cancer. Now, when she was diagnosed with cancer, we were all very worried, and we were all very sad as well, okay. And and we went to visit her, and so she responded in a very, very, very differently. So in Chinese, the word cancer is 癌症. Okay, in Chinese is 癌症. So she said, she told us, she said that I don't have 癌症. This time, right, God has allowed me to experience 真爱. 真爱. If you twist the word, okay, twist the word 真爱, which means true love. True love. For her, right, she says that this is not, this cancer, right, is not something that I'm pitiful of. I know that I'm going to go through this journey because I'm going to experience His true love. And throughout her whole cancer journey, right, she didn't look at herself as very pitiful. She didn't look at herself as she is in pain and she just see herself as, what can I do to continue to serve others? So even when she was hospitalized, right, when she knew that there was another brother or sister who was hospitalized, she will go and visit this person when she can. When my father-in-law was hospitalized, she actually bought things for my father-in-law. For a person who is almost towards the end of her life, right, quite bedridden already. And yet she was still able to think about other people. She didn't think about how painful she was, how it was very painful for her. She was just feeling that, what can I do some more for God? And she continued to push on. Last year, a month before she passed, I went to visit her. And at that time, right, I was very stressed out at work. I was about to leave the corporate life, and I was going through a lot of things at work. And I went to visit her I still remember this, on a Sunday. And there was another sister who was there at the same time. And they were already chatting, and I came in. And then when I came in, the sister told me, Aaron, it's so nice to see you. How are you doing? And then I just said, wow, very charmed, very stressful at work, things like this, to a cancer patient. Wow, very, very stressed, very I feel very not eating well, cannot sleep well, things like this, And she listened very attentively, all right? Now, this other sister who was there, right, she was putting moisturizer on her skin. I think it's because of the medicine, her skin was drying out, and also because of the hospital. And so, she was putting the moisturizer. Then she tell me, she said, Aaron, you come and touch my hand. I really sense this moisturizer very good. You come and touch. And so she just hold my hand, she touched me and she touched. And then she just say, Aaron, can you feel the power of God or not? Then I just stayed silent with her. And then she just kept quiet. And then I said, okay, I have to go now. So I left. But from the journey from her bed to the car park, I start to cry. I cry because I felt that, wow, this is a sister who is dying, who can see that she's physically in pain. But she is not complaining about her pain. What more? How should I be complaining then? Why should I be complaining about this small matter? Stress in life are very small matter compared to what she's going through. And so I told myself, wow, I have to change. I have to not look at my interests. I have to look at what can I do. Maybe the thing that I'm going through is to help other people. And that's what she was going through. So when she passed, during her wake and her funeral, the whole, if you've been to Nirvana in KL, they have many rooms, right? Her floor, there was, I think, about 5 rooms. And hers was in the middle. Her wake service was full with people. So much so that people thought that this was a Datin or Datuk who passed away. But then when they only realized, oh, this was just a plain sister, a normal sister. But she was full. And then you can hear the testimonies from many people talking about how she has touched their lives. Wow, so amazing. So what happens when we are in an uncomfortable situation? Do we just look at ourselves and say, wow, very pitiful, very pitiful? The fourth response that Elijah had was he was expecting big miracles to happen. What do I mean by that? So the first time God asked him, what are you doing here? Right? Then after that, God replied him, go out and stand on the mountain before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind tore into the mountains and broke the rocks in pieces before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. Elijah was wanting to see, God, I want to see big things, just like how you brought fire down into this place. Then only I still can believe you. Then only I believe that things are going to happen. He was expecting that this God, this powerful God, was going to be in the wind. It's going to be the earthquake. It's going to be in the fire. These big things. Sometimes we expect God to do very, very big things in our lives to solve our problems. When we don't have enough money, we say, wow, God, give me 1 million ringgit. Suddenly 1 million ringgit come. Wow, God, I want this. I want you to heal me. And then we say, expect a miracle for this to happen. And then when it doesn't happen right now, you realize, God, you're not listening to me. This is how Elijah was. He said, Elijah, God, I'm in this situation right now, I'm your only one left. I'm the only one who cares about you. God, I really want a miracle. And then these things happen. But Elijah realized he was not in the wind. He was not in the earthquake. He was not in the fire. Sometimes we just focus on the wrong things. We look for all these big things to happen. And we think that, wow, God, then only you're speaking to us. When I was in university, and Mani was a friend we met through camps. But in university, we serve in CFs, in Christian fellowships, and we are very, and we enjoy that. So every year, we will pass down the baton to different leaders. And I was 1 year in charge of all the home group leaders. And I was also helping out to see who will be the next home group leaders for the next term, the next semester. And so I saw this brother, and I felt this brother was quite okay and was ready to take care of the home group. And so I asked him, I said, brother, would you like to take care of this home group next semester? And then he looked at me, he said that, let me pray about it. So I said, okay, can pray about it and come back to me, all right? And a week passed, the next time we met again in CF, so I asked him again, hey, so are you okay to take over the home group? And then he said that, still need to pray. So I said, okay, still got time, can. Following week, I asked him again, you want to take up or not, this home group? And he said that, still need to pray. So I asked him, I said, as a joke, this was as a joke, I asked him, I said, are you expecting God to speak to you in earthquake and wind and fire? Then he said, very seriously, yes. Okay. And I was like, oh, okay. So I said, okay, so far how? Then he says, no fire, no earthquake yet. So I said, okay, fine, don't worry. A week later, I asked the same thing. He said, still no word yet. I said, okay. On the following week, right, already, no time already, we have to give a name, right? And so I said this to him. I said, right, brother, do you think, right, just a thought, just for you to think about, do you think that me coming to you every week, right, to ask this question, right, is already the earthquake for you? I'm saying, right, are you expecting God to speak to you in His audible voice? You know, are you expecting that or not? And he couldn't answer me. He couldn't answer me. Unfortunately, he didn't take up the role and he didn't become a home group leader. He didn't want to because he felt that, no, God didn't say so. But sometimes in life, right, we just think we are just waiting for that to happen. Perhaps, right, God sometimes does in His interesting way, in His smallest way, to tell us what is it that we should do next. So, brothers and sisters, sometimes when we are facing some uncomfortable situation, what do we do? What are we waiting for? Now, God spoke to Elijah again after that whole thing, the earthquake, the fire, and the wind. Okay? And this time, Elijah realized something shifted in him. And when he was ready, God asked again, what are you doing here, Elijah? This time, Elijah was already ready to listen to God. Okay, why was he ready? I'll share with you later. So what should our response be when we come to uncomfortable situation? Rather than running away, God tell him, go back. The Lord said to him, go, return on your way to the wilderness of Damascus. Go back. Go back. I'm still not done with you yet. There's still many things I need you to do. Go back. Go back. A few years ago, we had a group of youth who came to Subang and we prayed together. And one of the sisters, she was a student, a dentistry student in Sungai Petani. And she was telling us that she's at the crossroads of deciding what to do with her life after graduating. And she told me, she said that she had two options. One was to go to Singapore to work, just like many other graduates who were at that time thinking of going over. And I don't blame them, ×3, right? You know, who doesn't want to? But he said her second option was to join the government service and to be posted back in her hometown in Sabah, in Kota Kinabalu. And she said that during this prayer meeting, right, she was so challenged. She was so challenged to go back to Sabah. She was so challenged to go back to Sabah because she said that it's very easy for me to say, to not listen to that and just go to Singapore and be happy and do what I want to do. But she knew that God wanted her to go back to Sabah. And so she did. And she went back. What she didn't expect was when she went back, suddenly there was a few brothers and sisters from the same university who was also being posted to Sabah. And they were able to open a home group themselves, within themselves there in Sabah. And so she realized that, oh, this is why God asked me to go back there. Brothers and sisters, sometimes, right, we are not sure why God brought us to certain areas. Sometimes God brings us to certain areas to mold us and to shape us so that we can learn something from it. So sometimes all these uncomfortable situations, right, is for us to grow. Is for us to become somebody else or to become better. So for me, right, remember the shifting house incident? The shifting house incident is really an opportunity for me to grow. To grow, to know that, hey, there's something about me, my character, this ungratefulness, which I'll share later, that need to come out of. So if you are going through an uncomfortable situation, perhaps you have to ask God, what am I going to learn from this situation? My wife is very good at this. Every time she faces with an issue, right, she always say, God, what is it that I'm going to learn now? And she's very excited. She said that God is going to teach me something new. So it's important for us to realize that perhaps God is telling you something. Don't run away from that situation. Go back and face it. Perhaps there's something that you can learn from it. So rather than pitying ourselves, okay, rather than focusing on ourselves, let's be grateful. When Elijah was running away, right, even that one day, as he lay in the broom tree, God still fed him. God still tell him, arise and eat. Let me give you this food because the journey is too great for you. Even God also feel for him and say that it's too great for you. I'm going to feed you now and giving you something. But Elijah didn't say thank you, The next one he complained. He said that, God, I'm the only one left. Let me die. Grateful. We need to be grateful for all this situation. So this house shifting incident, I was very upset. I was thinking, why these people want us out so fast? It's very difficult, to go and find places and to move things and things like this. Imagine 12 years worth of stuff in the house. 12 years stuff of things, we need to move. And my wife told me this. She said, actually, we need to be very grateful. Grateful? How to be grateful? They're kicking us out. Why should we be grateful? Then she said, we've stayed here for 12 years without rent. No rent. So I went online to see how much is the average rental of the area. Okay, my mouth dropped. It's 9,000 ringgit per month. Okay, 9,000 ringgit times 12 years times 12 months. How much will that be? I think almost 1 million. Almost 1 million ringgit. God has saved me 1 million ringgit. Saved my family 1 million ringgit. This family who have blessed us with a house has saved me 1 million ringgit. Not that I'm a millionaire now, but has saved me 1 million ringgit. So my wife said, right, maybe God knows already. Now you can afford your own place. So might as well do it. Then I really think about it. Yeah, I should be thankful. I'm able to stay in this place for 12 years without rent. Didn't pay anything. And they let us take care. They let us make sure that we, nothing breaks down or things like this. Everything. I should be grateful. And it was also a very good situation to be in. So imagine, right, 12 years, many things will collect, right? So there was one day when we were packing the house room by room, I realized that there was a cupboard that I've not opened for many years. And when I opened it, then I realized, alamak, a lot of my education certificates are inside there, which I've not seen for many years. So I said, good, I better take out and, keep it and ensure that everything is kept well. And there were some books that I have been looking high and low for it, but not inside this cupboard. So I took it out and everything. So I was very grateful for this time of just cleaning up. And there were also things that we decided that, hey, maybe these things we need to throw away. Clean up the house a little bit. Don't want to declutter a little bit. Don't bring out so many things with us. And so I really believe that this situation, God allowed it to happen for us to be grateful, to learn to be grateful, because He has taken care of us. He has seen us through. And now that we can afford our own place, He's going to see us through as well. And that's what we need. Don't pity ourselves so much already. Don't pity ourselves too much. Okay? Sometimes we only look at your own interests. But let's look at the interests of others instead. God told Elijah, you think you're the only one? God says, I have reserved 7,000 in Israel, all whose knees have not bowed to Baal, and every mouth that has not kissed him. God is saying here, hey, you're not only one. I still got 7,000 people. I still got 7,000 people who have not worshipped Baal yet. In many ways, I just feel that like God is telling him, who are you? In many ways, I think God is saying, who are you? I still got 7,000 people more. Like, you die, no problem, 7,000 more. But I choose to look at this way. I choose to see that, hey, don't look at your own interests. Look at the interests of others. Look at how other people are more important than you. Look at how outside of the experience, just like how the sister with cancer, she didn't look at her interest, she looked at other people's interests. She looked at how I can continue to serve even in my condition. Even in the situations that you are in, what can you do to serve others? What can you do to be of service to people around you? When you don't have enough, you say, God, I don't have enough money. There are many other things that God can use you for. When you say, God, I got no talent, hey, anybody can come up here to share and to sing. The other day, I went to this church in Moa, and the worship leader, she is tone deaf. Tone deaf. But she told me, she said, Aaron, that time when we started the church, when we asked for worship leaders, when we asked for worship leaders, nobody wanted to worship lead. And so I said, I can worship lead, but I'm tone deaf. And so she went up. She's really tone deaf. But she said that she's been taking lessons, she's been practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. Till today, she can sing in key, but you still need to help her to start the song. But she can do it. But she's willing to be of service to the church because she said, nobody want to do it, so I do it. So the church, more and more start to see that, and they see that, oh, nobody play drama. Okay, now I go and learn. No, they don't know how to play, but she said, I go and learn, and they go and practice and play. Some say that, oh, I don't know how to smile, so I go become usher, so that I can learn how to smile. Okay? Or I say that, oh, I don't know how to share on stage, so they give them opportunity to share at small services, so that they can do that. So at the end of the day, everybody in the church was serving. Everybody in the church, can do something because they know that it is not for my interest. It is really for the interest of other people here. So in other words, sometimes I also tell myself, cannot be too proud because God can say, who are you? Yeah, without you, it's okay. Got other people else. So who are you? So sometimes we have to tell ourselves, don't be so proud. Okay? Rather than expecting miracles, and this is something that my wife shared yesterday as well. The reason why Elijah had a shift in his mentality, a shift in his thinking, was after the fire, the earthquake, and the wind. The Bible says there was a still, small voice. In the Bible, it's written many times, be still and know that I am God. Elijah had to learn this. Elijah had to say that, hey, you're too busy already. You're too busy. In your mind, there's so many things happening. You're running away. You're angry. You're so upset. But we've forgotten to be still. And be still. To hear that still small voice. And my wife said yesterday, if you are not still, very hard for God to come and speak to you. So, brothers and sisters, when you are going through issues or you're going through something that is very uncomfortable, very difficult to go through, sometimes we become, we start to complain in the head. Then we start to find this, we start to be flustered about that. There's so many things to think about. When we think about this so much, right, that we become very stressed, very flustered. But God's invitation is for us to be still. Just to be still. And when we can do that, and when we can be still, right, then only we can hear God in a very different way. We can hear that, God, what is it that you want us to do? God, please teach me in this situation. Be still. In 2021, I was working for this organization, and at that time, it was a very interesting relationship between me and my manager. For some strange reason, we just couldn't work together. And for some strange reason, I felt very stressed because of this relationship. It came to a point where I couldn't sleep at night. It came to a point when, because I couldn't sleep at night, I wouldn't want to eat. And I lost a lot of weight. Not now, okay. Many people ask me, why you lost so much weight already? Okay, this one was a purposely one. That one not purposely one, on purpose. Okay. So that time, I remember I lost so much weight. I was very tired all the time. I didn't feel like going to work. It felt a chore because I just had found no joy in going to work. And I become very stressed. Stressed not because of the work. Stressed because I do not know why am I feeling this. I felt like, wow, why am I feeling? I'm not this type of person. One of my friends said, it's like somebody sucked the Aaron out of Aaron. Even my parents, they were very worried because when I came back to visit them, right, they said, this is not the Aaron we know. He looks so down, so defeated like that. He's not that type of person. What happened? Somebody sucked the Aaron out of Aaron. And I keep thinking, what's happening? Why is this happening to me? And then the more I think about it, the more I become even more stressed and couldn't sleep. Up to a point, right, I actually told my wife, say, can you go outside and buy sleeping pill for me? I just want to sleep, I don't want to wake up at all. I just want to sleep, but I don't want to wake up at all. Up to that point, very, very worried, very worried. So my wife said, I think it's time to pray. I think it's time to seek God. And so, we spent one whole afternoon. And there was then this verse, be still, and know that I'm God. And it was really a lesson of remembrance for me. Because God was telling me, if I can accept you unconditionally, why can't you accept yourself? Because of that verse, why I cannot accept myself, then I realized all this noise, right? All these things happening because I was afraid that people would call me a failure. I was afraid that people call me lousy. I was afraid. But because of that still small voice will tell me that if I can accept you unconditionally, how lousy you are also, I still accept you. How much more you should accept yourself. Oh, that really broke me. And so I say, God, I know what to do. And so I resigned. I resigned thinking that, because I refused to resign at first, thinking that I'll become a lousy person, that I failed. But I resigned. And that freed me so much. So sometimes, brothers and sisters, when we are faced with all this situation, God's invitation to us is just be still. Be still. Ask God, God, what you want me to do next? God, I'm not sure what to do in this situation. What do you want me to do next? Now, it's not something that is very natural for us. Because the world teaches us, right, we need to find a solution all the time. Got this issue, find solution. Got this issue, find solution. So we are formed in a way where we need to be busy. But in Romans 12, it says for us to conform to this world, but to not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So this thought process of we need to change is uncomfortable to be something that is comfortable. Okay. I'll just end with this. When I got married, I had to tell myself this. Okay. This thing to myself. I have to share my wife with many people. Wow. Okay. Context. My wife is a pastor. Okay. So I have to share my wife with many people. Why? Because at any time of the given time of the day, people will call her, and they need to speak to her. I'm sure Pastor Philip also go through the same thing, right? When people got issue, call her, right? So I have to learn very early in our relationship that I have to share with many other people. Because the world tells me, right, as a husband, I'm the head of the house, right? So, hey, you must listen to me. Hey, you must only serve me. Hey, you must take care of me. Hey, this thing, everything, me lah, right? Very easy for us. But when I was first thrown into this uncomfortable situation, where I suddenly realized my wife not at home when I come home, because she's out serving somebody, visiting somebody. Or when I expect a home-cooked meal, right, don't have, ask me to go out, eat yourself and come back. I was faced with this uncomfortable situation. And at first I was also very upset. I said, God, why you let me marry this person? Why I got married to this person? But God had to remind me this. This wife, not yours one. I let you take care. This wife, not yours one. I let you take care. So I said, yeah, not mine one. God's one. So I have to. So when she's with me, it's not she has to take care of me. I have to take care of her. Cannot look at my own interest anymore. I have to let her. So right now, right, even when members call her at 11 p.m., right, I'm still okay. She will tell me, she said that, this one going to be a very long phone call. So I said, it's okay, I'll sleep first. Then she will. But it's not something that comes naturally at first. It's a renewing of the mind. So day by day, I've learned. But this also is because God had to teach me. So in any situation we go through, we have to say, God, what is it that you want us to transform? What is it that you want us to learn? Because the more we can transform, the more we learn, the better we become. Amen? Amen. Come, let's stand and let's pray.